We all do life, but who knew it could be this funny? It's the podcast Doing Life with Maria and Chad.
And thanks so much for listening on today's podcast. I got to tell you, Maria, my family and I went to a concert, an actual live, well, kind of live concert. And I got to tell you how it went down. And I actually had a really good time. Details coming up on today's podcast.
We're a little late getting together for the podcast today. I apologize, Chad.
I've been getting a bunch of texts from you. What the heck's going on at your house?
So we have concrete floors, stained concrete floors, and there was a section by the wall in back of my daughter's bathroom that was wet. And to have concrete wet, you know, there's a problem.
Did your daughter have an accident?
No, we found out we have a leak in the wall.
Oh, no.
You know, one of the pipes in the wall. And my husband took a Sawzall and cut a hole in the wall, and voila, we found out where the leak was. So we called plumbers, and they came this morning. They were so loud. It was like they had a flippin' jackhammer. They didn't have to go through the floor, but they're cutting the wall open. They had this flamethrower thing because they had to sweat the pipes, and it sent the fire alarms off, you know, so our smoke detectors went off. It was like, I don't know. It was crazy town.
Was it, so they had to demolition both sides of the wall where the leak was?
Well, we thought, okay, if we go to the back side of the wall, that would be easier to get into rather than underneath the sink, you know, because it's the cabinets there.
Right. Uh-huh.
Oh, no, they had to do both. So now we have a nice hole in our wall. Fans are on it right now to kind of dry it out before we get it re-drywalled again.
Uh-huh.
Guess how much it was to get this fixed? And these guys were here maybe an hour.
$1,000.
No, I feel like we were lucky. $300.
Oh, that's not bad at all. I expected it to be a lot worse. Wow. Usually water damage.
$300.
That's crazy.
But we still need to replace, you know, get somebody in to do the drywall, which will probably be another couple $100.
Yeah.
But overall, I don't think it was too bad. So let's say $500 to get the leak fixed. And I think we caught it early enough that it didn't do a whole lot of damage.
Can I tell you my takeaway from your story? I don't own a Sawzall, and your husband does. That would be, okay, I got to go to Home Depot and rent some tool that I'll probably hurt myself with. That's cool that he at least did that. Did he take his shirt off, and did he beat his chest?
He lubed up first with some baby oil, so he looked all shiny.
Nice.
And then...
He does have that Fabio long blonde hair. So did he wave his head back and forth?
And if by Fabio hair you mean almost a comb over, then yes.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Did it come out wrong? I apologize.
You know, I got to tell you really quick while we're on his hair subject.
Yeah.
I told him, like, his dad, bless his heart, has the comb over.
Yeah.
And I told my husband, I said, honey, when it gets really bad, we're just going to shave your head. You are not going to do a comb over. And he goes, you're not shaving my head. And I'm like, well, you're not having a comb over. So we got to meet somewhere in between.
Yeah, it comes a point in every man's life where you gotta figure out which direction you're going to go. Just shave it all off or try to hold on to what's left, you know?
So, Chad, last podcast, I took the BFF quiz.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I failed miserably.
Yes.
So I came up with my 10 questions like you asked me to.
So you have 10 questions about you that I have to get all wrong because you got a couple right, I think. I said 11 out of 10, but you actually got like 2 or 3 right, I think.
And I think mine's easier. Okay. I don't know.
Well,
okay, so
don't overestimate me. I don't listen. Is this Maria? Who are you again?
Who is this again? Who's my partner for the last 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my 10 questions. Number 1.
Uh-huh.
What's my favorite fast food restaurant?
Taco Bell. Yes, Taco Bell.
Yep. What year was I born?
Ew. I can do the math. Hold on.
You can't do the math. You just have to know.
69.
Yes. Darn it.
1969,
okay.
Yes. Because I was at your birthday last year. That's why it makes it a little easier.
What record do I still hold in high school?
Oh, it's a running relay record? Like the 4x800? relay.
Oh my God, you knew that?
Is that right?
Yes, it was the 2-mile relay.
Okay. Yep. See, I listened to some things. I was either I either knew it was the 800 by itself or a relay, but yeah, I guessed correctly.
How tall am I?
You are 6'1".
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you're batting 100 right now.
I'm doing good.
Or 1,000.
Sorry,
batting 1,000.
You did make these easy. 100. Well, it depends on how you look at it.
How many brothers and sisters do I have?
Okay. You have 2 brothers.
And?
Oh, I was going to stop at 2 brothers and a sister.
Yeah, because I gave it to you there. But yeah, I have 2 brothers and a sister.
But I've never met your
Paul,
sister.
Michael, and Carmen.
Right? I've never met Carmen.
Okay. Why did I name my daughter Lucy?
Oh, you have always been a big fan of Charlie's Angels, and you knew that Lucy Liu was going to be a star someday. How about the real guess? I'll say you like the TV show I Love Lucy. I don't know.
No, my grandmother's name was Lucille.
I got that one incorrect.
I always thought that was kind of a pretty name.
Mm-hmm. We both have classic daughter names.
Yeah, Georgia, Lucy, Lucille.
Mm-hmm.
What's my favorite slot machine?
Oh, it's the Sharknado.
Yes!
Sharknado slot machine. Yeah, that is your favorite.
You know what's so funny about that is I was coming up with these questions yesterday, and my husband goes, I don't know. I'm like, Chad will know this one.
Yeah, we talk. You are obsessed with Shark. Actually, Shark Week is just around the corner, I think, right?
I know. It's on my calendar.
Well, you have Shark Week, and this weekend I have the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. Don't forget to set your DVR on 4th of July.
Oh, yeah, that's right, with nobody watching.
Exactly. Uh-huh.
Speaking of sharks, what's my favorite movie?
Jaws. You have
Yes.
shoes that are Jaws, too.
Yes, I do. Where did Eric and I meet, my husband?
Oh, I was looking through the window that night. I'm trying to remember. You guys met at a bar. It's not Zips. Or is it Zips? I'll go with Zips. I think that's wrong, though.
We met at a bar, you're right. And
Well-
this bar is actually not even open anymore. And for those who have been living in Arizona or in Phoenix for a while, you might remember this. Jets and Sticks
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have got that
was
right.
the name of the bar.
Okay.
Wow. Apparently you're a better friend than I am. Here's my last question.
Okay.
What's the first concert I ever saw?
I want to say Devo because that makes me laugh, but that's not correct. Different story, different thing. Let's see. What was your first concert? I would have to take a wild guess. Can you give me a clue?
He's been arrested like later in life.
Oh.
He's kind of a hot mess.
Oh, is it like one of those Tina, like Leif Garrett or something?
Yes, it was Leif Garrett. Oh my God.
Yeah, I once you said that, I don't even know what he sings, but I remember on the morning show talking about this, and it came. So what did he sing? What was it? I don't even know. What's a Leif Garrett song?
Oh, I don't know. Did he do?
He wasn't to
The
do Run
Run?
Run. No, that's Sean Cassidy.
Oh, he did. I don't even know. I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
I went with my girlfriend Tanya Carlisle and her grandmother.
That's something.
That was
you
my
know,
very first concert.
No matter whether or not you're a huge music fan, like the first time you see that many people, which who knows when we'll get to do that again, but the first time you see that many people watching a concert, that sticks with you. Whether it's Leif Garrett or for me it was Rick Springfield. Like I can tell you where I sat in the arena, like where Rick was in comparison to my seat. I can like picture that still, which is crazy, but So I did okay. I have something for you, a present, because I know you're such an animal lover, Maria. You've never owned or been around a chicken a lot, have you? Have you ever had a chicken coop or anything like that? You seem like somebody that might want to get your fresh eggs.
I have never owned a chicken, but our neighbors a few doors down actually have chickens. And my daughter was watching their house, like feeding their dogs and feeding the chickens while they were gone.
Yeah.
And the chickens got out of the coop And she called me in a panic and she goes, I don't know how to pick up a chicken. And I'm like, oh, I'll be right down. I'll be there in a minute. So I walk down and I go over and I grab the chicken and put it in the chicken coop and, everything's fine. And she goes, wow, I didn't know you knew how to pick up a chicken. And I'm like, fake it till you make it, baby. I've never picked up a chicken before.
Well, you kind of sneak up like the cartoon noises, like sneak up behind them and then grab them from behind, right? They can't see you coming, right? Isn't that the deal? It's kind of like invading their privacy.
These are tame chickens, So one of them, I just kind of picked it up and held the wings down, and I just kind of picked it up that way.
Yeah.
And then the other one was not as friendly, but I did it. So to answer your question, yes and no.
Well, if you get a chance to be around your neighbor's chickens again, maybe you can try this. This is some audio that I found to share on the podcast out of Texas. A lady has a chicken named Francis. It's a hen. And she discovered, don't ask me how, that her chicken likes to be tickled.
This is Francis. She's very ticklish. Francis. And that's Francis laughing. I hope you enjoyed that.
This thing is getting shared all over the internet right now, so I thought the people listening to the podcast would like to enjoy Francis laughing. Is that really a laugh, you think, or is that more of a just leave me alone and get your hands off of me?
It's a laugh. It's a total laugh. Okay, now I'm asking you a hard thing here. Can you play it again?
Yeah.
And that's Francis laughing. I hope you enjoyed that.
Yes, we did. Thank you.
I love that so much.
Well, I'll send you the video. You can post it up on our social media. By the way, if you're not following us yet on Instagram, it's at Maria and Chad, and then on Twitter at Maria and Chad. And on YouTube, you can listen to the podcast and watch the podcast. Thanks to our producer Dan, who does a great job getting the video together. What else do we have today?
Well, I found a list of the things that we forget the most. And obviously, passwords is on the list. People's names after you've been introduced, I think that's a big one. Walking into a room and forgetting why you walked in there. Did that twice today already. Forgetting where you put a pen.
Well, that's usually in your hand. When you're trying to find something, you're like, oh, I'm carrying it around.
Yeah, well, oh my gosh, that reminds me. I went to go get my car fixed. Remember when Lucy crashed my car?
Yes.
And the gentleman that was the service guy, he goes, where are my glasses? And I'm like, they're on your face. He's like, I can't find my glasses. I'm like, they're on your face. And I said it 3 times and he goes, did you just say they're on my face? And I go, yes, he literally was wearing them.
Yeah, when I'm looking for my glasses, I check if are they on my hat or are they hanging from my shirt or did I leave them somewhere?
But the one on this list that I wanted to mention because I think it's so true right now with COVID.
Yeah.
Forgetting what day it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what day it is without looking at my phone. I mean, when we did the radio show, we went in every day. There were certain things we did on certain days. And so I knew, hey, Friday was this, Thursday was this. Now I'm like, what day is it?
And your new work schedule is kind of all over the place. Like you could work Sunday through Thursday and your weekend is Friday, Saturday, or, whatever it ends up being. But yeah, it's totally, you get out of that routine. I get you.
So yeah. And today is what? Today's Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday, or whenever you're listening to the podcast, it's that day.
Yes, it is.
Go ahead.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of forgetting, I forgot to ask you, did you actually make it to the Garth Brooks drive-in movie?
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you asked.
Concert?
Yeah. So let me just apologize for those that listen to the podcast every time it comes out. When this was first announced, I had told you that Garth Brooks was touring and coming to drive-ins all over the country. I guess I didn't read it properly, or maybe they didn't reveal all the details when it was first announced. But yeah, over the weekend, he did a concert, but it turns out it wasn't even live. it was like recorded. I mean, I think it was unique to what we ended up seeing on Saturday, but he had recorded all these segments and they made it into like a highlight concert. So like, you know, one song would end and the next song would start, if you know what I mean. It was it was all like pre-recorded, I think, just for time, because it was literally 90 minutes, like a movie. So yeah, my wife for Father's Day waited an hour and 40 minutes on hold on the phone to get this ticket for us. So for $100, we were able to have our however many people that we could fit in our vehicle as far as seatbelts are concerned. That was the rule.
Okay.
So they scanned our phone and we went in, and it was a really cool family event. I got to say, this drive-in theater was about 30 minutes from our house. And we went in there and you could bring your own drinks, which was great. We actually did a good job of social distancing. We sat in the back of the truck with it backwards so that we could watch the screen. The sound was great. The video was great. I have no complaints. Like, I'm super happy that we did it. I mean, it's not the same as seeing Garth Brooks at State Farm Stadium or any football stadium around the country. But in these times, like, you know what a live music fan that I am, like, it was just, it's good to have anything, you know?
You know, what's funny is we did talk about this and you were like, yeah, it's $100. You get to see Garth Brooks at the drive-in theater. And I really thought that he was going to be at these drive-in theaters.
Well,
like a live concert. And then when I was looking online as well to see if I could get tickets or look into it, I kept seeing like video or whatever. I'm like, well, maybe he's going to do one live.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be like simulcast or broadcasted to all these different drive-in movie theaters.
That's what I thought it was going to be too.
Now, did the dog go with you?
No, we didn't. We didn't know like what to expect when we got there. And we probably could have in hindsight after we saw, like, they had porta potties and that was all like, you know, social distance apart. People were wearing masks when they weren't right next to their vehicle. Like, I honestly didn't know what to expect. And I would go back tomorrow if they could replay it. Or I know Brad Paisley is doing something, I think, with Nelly, or maybe they're separate shows. I know, weird. But yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more of these as artists try to, you know, perform and make some money. But you think about it, I mean, they probably, at this drive-in theater, this is just one of, you know, many in the Valley that showed this concert on Saturday. They probably had, I don't know, maybe 100 cars. So whatever that is, 100 cars times 100, you know, and then and they did 2 shows. So we were at the 7:30 show, and then at 9 o'clock, our show was over, and they had another show at 9:30. So they rolled in more cars, you know, they had food trucks there, you know, like pretty good money-making opportunity compared to what a drive-in theater would make for a movie. You know what I mean? If they were doing a movie night. So I think it works for everybody. The artists are making their money, and yeah, I was thoroughly impressed. So if you are listening to this podcast, you're thinking about doing a drive-in concert, I would stamp of approval. Yay. I liked it.
Yay.
It was good.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. Father's Day. Father's Day. It's my
Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Thanks again for listening to Doing Life with Maria and Chad. Follow us on Instagram at Maria and Chad. You can now listen to every episode on the iHeartRadio app, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Pandora, and of course, you can watch on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode.